Welcome back, everybody, to more We Play Dota 2 action. That's your bracket, but what I meant to show you was the draft. There we go. We're in our next match here in the loser bracket. Well, now I guess I can show you the brackets. We've got Artyk up against Team Dust. It hasn't been updated just yet. My MS Paint skills aren't quite there, but Artyk up against Dust in the loser bracket. Loser of this match is knocked out. Winner of this, well, they keep their hopes alive. They're not guaranteed to advance, but they get one step closer. We'll have EG up against Oryx in the winner bracket finals later on to decide who wins the group. But for now, we got ourselves a draft, and Vikramont is joining me. For those of you guys who don't know him, he's a new upcoming caster. Definitely check him out. But we've got ourselves well, two teams who we've seen lose. One of them will fix that. The question is who.
I've seen them win, just not today, not in this particular tournament. But they're definitely teams with potential upside, and it is an Americas versus Americas match as well, of course. North America versus South America, a little bit.
Well, a bit of a rivalry, but either way, America's going to be winning. I'm sure people, even when the Peruvians are winning, we'll see the USA chance.
No matter what, USA has this. They've got this on lock. I do find it interesting that the Dust game actually banning out both the Keeper of the Light in the first phase and then the PL in the second phase. I think this might be sort of a once bitten, twice shy scenario where they just sort of lost, even though it's one of the strats that they feel the most comfortable with. They just sort of were warded off of it by that last game just because they did get... I think it felt more close to us than maybe it felt to them, because certainly Aurochs won a very convincing victory, and Dust weren't able to sort of get their carry down, weren't able to develop the PL. But some things they were good at, and actually they've gone with a much safer mid a little bit this time with the Magnus. If they do run this Magnus mid, they maybe won't have as many of the issues with over-aggression that they had on Storm Spirit. So I like this draft from them.
Yeah, Arctic, to me, have the more mobile draft, whereas Dust, they've got the better team fight. You've got the Mag ulti, and also he's a really strong solo mid. We saw last game and beat a hero like a Storm Spirit, which, I mean, on paper shouldn't happen, but Mag is a lot more damage output than a hero like a Storm Spirit, and the potential is there for Mag to win the lane, whereas for Storm, I feel like you're not likely going to be killing off Mag at early levels. Nyx Assassin adds a lot more to the team fight as well for Dust, but once again, it's a similar case to last game, where Shadow Demon Nyx Assassin, you can't really roam a whole lot, you can't get super aggressive, unless we see something like a gyrocopter as their carry in the tri lane, but more likely than not, they sort of stick with that hard carry we saw last game.
It's banned.
Yeah.
Gyro actually got banned in the second phase. No, I mean, I think what you're saying makes sense. Dust are seeking to hunker down a little bit, I think. And this sort of retrenchment is interesting, considering I feel like hunkering down was one of their problems in the last game. They didn't meaningfully contest the Luna at any point, and they just sort of got rolled. So if Artyk were watching that, Iwo, their hard carry player, is a very, very capable farmer. I've seen him play anti-mage. I've seen him play Phantom Lancer in his own right. So if this ends up being a match of two hard carries on either team, I have to slightly give it to Artyk just because they have the ability to disrupt Dust's sort of carry farming more so than I feel Dust do the reverse. And I think that's what... I don't know. What do you think about that?
I definitely think the Anti-Mage fits a lot better into the Arctic draft right now. They can slot it in. They've got a really strong sort of Batrider. I just feel Batrider Dark is good for protecting Anti-Mage, also giving him space. With Mag Nyx, these are two heroes who need some levels, need to sort of just get their items up. And with an Anti-Mage there, it's something which can be punished. Rubik plus two more aggressive Trallin, and bang, presto, you're set. So I think it's something where if Dust need to be a bit more careful about going for something like a hard carry and Anti-Mage. And Anti-Mage, I think, will fit very well against the style of play that Dust have been showing, that they've been showing for the most part.
Definitely. I think for Dust, it's got to be something a little more just overall. Somebody with a good escape, but also decent development, and just sort of seek to get some levels, especially on the Nyx Assassin. To be fair, Nyx is going to be stronger this game than the last game, I feel like. You do have a much more appetizing mid-target in the form of the Batrider for that mana burn. So, in fact, 3 int heroes already up for Artyk. So, considering they need another support, and supports are also usually int heroes, unless they go for something like Vengeful Spirit or Venno, this is going to be a lot of appetizing things for Nyx to chew on. And in fact, there is potential upside if they do get levels on that Nyx.
Well, they pick up a Puckus there for, so there's another hero good at preying on those squishy intel heroes, and decent against Batrider, I feel. At least decent enough sort of to escape and also cause them some problems as sort of a counter initiator. So I like this pickup. I think it fits well with this sort of the whole team fight vibe that we're seeing come out of Team Dust this time around, and it doesn't look like we'll be seeing the hard carry, at least not yet. I guess they could fit it in, but I feel when you go for this much team fight, you want to go more for an early mid game strong sort of carry type hero. Although there's not that many left in the pool.
Yeah, there's really not a lot. People have liked the Juggernaut lately, but the thing is, Juggernaut, a lot of the reason that he's so popular right now is that upside with the healing ward push, and Dust have no pushing power to speak of. In fact, neither team really has much in the way of push at all yet. So yeah, I'm very intrigued by what they... I do still feel that one side or the other is going to pick up that anti-mage. It's just...
Yeah.
It's just a thrumming feeling that's probably going to happen. And I think most likely Artyk, as you pointed out, Dust have really got to rely on something a little more mid-game viable, but there's so little left in the pool, as you pointed out. Lone Druid gone, Lifestealer, Luna, Gyrocopter, just a rogues gallery of mid-game carries. I mean, they do still have the option of the casual Chaos Knight, which isn't the worst thing in the world, or even something like a Sven. Sven Magnus is still pretty serious.
There's your anti-mage. I had that niggling feeling as well. The question is, what do Artyk grab now?
Yeah, I mean, the one nice thing about this AM, I think you're completely right, Gods. Ooh.
Nice. I was thinking Faceless Void, but Ricky, why the hell not? I'm excited to see a Ricky here, and I think it works. Cloud against Puck, Mag, AM? Hell yeah.
Sure. I mean, Ricky, back in the day, was sort of regarded as a pretty direct AM counter, and we saw him deployed back when the days of Anti-Mage, so maybe a few months before TI2, leading up into TI2, we did see teams sort of holding back that Ricky pocket pick as a response to Anti-Mage. So entirely possible if you can lock him down with Smokescreen. It's funny because I almost feel like I would like to see both of these carries on the other team. Like, I feel like Ricky fits into Dust a little more and Anti-Mage fits into Artyk a little more, but they're still two strong heroes that have an interesting interaction with each other.
Well, we'll hop ourselves in this game, and it is going to be a bit of a 5-man sweep down to the bottom coming out of Artyk. We've got Iwo playing the Ricky, leading the charge with an early poor man's shield. We've got Batrider being played by Smash, Mystico on the Rubik, Mihawk on the Darkseer, and then finally Masoku playing the Jakiro. Are we seeing an early level 1 engagement? And other question, do we see an offensive trial? And Ricky not the best for an offensive trial, but if they really want to shut down AM's farm, maybe they go for that. But oh, Chim, lift up. Goodbye, Chim.
Chim is pretty dead. They don't actually have that much damage, is the funny thing.
Yeah,
but
this is
I don't think
a
he can
slow
get
and painful death. Napalm's there. Ricky gets the last hit with a blink strike. So they give the kill to the hero they wanted. Nix, what are you doing, man?
Oh no!
Don't go running
Classic.
in. Darkseer's gone for the surge. That's why they have no damage. Normally you see an Iron Shell level 1 if you're looking for an early level 1 engagement, but he went for the surge. Doesn't really matter. They get 2 kills. Nix Assassin, man. Come on. What are you thinking?
I don't know what Classic was thinking there. I agree. I guess I should introduce them. We sort of got into the level 1 fight there. All right, so their tri-lane is going to be composed of Chim on the Shadow Demon, Classic on the Nyx Assassin, both unfortunately already copping deaths, but not really that much of an XP disadvantage, of course. And then John will be up on this Anti-Mage. Then they're running Ush as the Puck up in the middle, so he is going for another sort of big plays mid. We'll see if this goes better than the Storm Spirit. And then we do have Jong on the Magnus up in the top.
Yeah, offlane Magnus, but he will find himself a 1v1 matchup against Darkseer. Interesting little matchup here. I think Darkseer is a slight edge unless we see sort of your bottle crowing mag, but it's going to be Puck at mid lane who wants to get a fast bottle up, so I don't think he can really be bottle crowing as much as he'd like. And, well, Trialing versus Trialing at bottom, and when you've given away those kills early on, Ricky with the first blood, he's going to have very fast boots up. Other kill went to... No, neither of the supports, so we're not seeing any supports with kills, but just assist gold and XP is going to help them get a faster level 2. And just be a lot more powerful in this Trialing versus Trialing scenario.
Absolutely. Rubik, Jakiro, Ricky is not the most strong, aggressive Trialing anybody's ever heard of. So the fact that they got that Clash victory is extremely important because you need something to give you XP early.
Oh, they've done it again.
Ice Path.
Ice Path, Lift, and there's some body blocking coming to Iwo. And there's just no counter initiation except for an Impale, but it's coming a bit late. Defensive Disruption will buy Chim some time. Is there another nuke coming out? And Iwo... He's taking big damage here. Also, Rubik, all of these Artyk heroes, they need to be very careful. Another Impale could cause some problems here, but Anthony's with a level 1 blink. If he's level 2 with a mana break, his damage output is a lot higher. Unfortunately, for Dust, they just don't have those levels just yet.
Mm-hmm. Decent poise by Dust there, though. Good defensive disruption, good Impale. Without either of those two things, they needed both to actually make sure that Chim actually survived there, because otherwise Blink Strike had it. And it was just before Ricky actually decided to Blink Strike that came out.
Well, I imagine bottom lane is going to be where we're seeing most of the action come out. Another Ice Path hits 2 this time round. Iwo, he wants Chim. The Cloud was there, but not getting the kill once again. So early boots, also early Magic Stick coming out from Ricky. Magic Stick's all over the place, as Rubik has one as well. Jakiro does have the gold, but we're not seeing it just yet. And, well, these support heroes on the Radiant side, you can only imagine they probably want a Magic, even Anti-Mage with a Magic Stick. This is a game where with all these spells flying around at bottom lane, you need Magic Sticks.
Right. I mean, they're not getting the kills, gods, but this all-out aggression is paying off because it means that the supports on Radiant don't feel at all comfortable leaving the anti-mage alone for even a second. Like, they feel like they have to be here. And also, it's reflecting in the farm. Ricky with 10 last hits, anti-mage with 2.
Yeah, it's not a good position for Antimate to be in. Something you can catch up as soon as... If does get a kill or two at bottom lane, if Artyk make a mistake, then suddenly Antimage will have the space to farm. So Artyk do need to be careful to keep being aggressive, but if they give up a kill and overextend, then it becomes problematic for them.
Sure, definitely. Looking up into the other lanes, definitely Ush has had a slightly better mid of it this time than I feel he had last time. He's more or less trading evenly with this Bat Rider, which is good shape for him. He hasn't been harassed that much. He's had no problem keeping his battle charges up, and that lets him really trade off with the Bat. He's not anywhere near behind on XP.
Yeah, pretty much dead even on farm. Top lane, there's a slight edge going the way of Darkseer, and then trading pretty evenly. Mag actually went for boots here. I don't see a bottle on him just yet. Interesting choice here. But actually went in with a Firefly. I mean, it looks like he was looking to get a bit aggressive, but not really making a whole lot of it. But yeah, Mag, no bottle. A bit of a surprising choice, but the early boots will give him that sort of mobility here, but he doesn't really have the mana to push out this lane and also to farm as well as you'd like.
I don't hate the boots. Certainly, having less shockwaves is a problem, but the flip side is, again, it's the safe choice. Yeah. I think we talked about how Dust want to hunker down and play safe this game, and Magnus definitely doing that. It means that Ion Shell is probably not going to do too much damage to you at the cost of potential farm.
And he's just going to, I think he's going to just rush Arcane Boots. I think he's going to say, no bottle this game, let's just go straight Arcanes. He's actually almost got it now, just with some well-timed last hitting, and I think he actually had a fairly eco build. He was seeing on 200-300 gold to start things off.
He skewers Darkseer into the tower just to get a little bit of trade-off on the damage, so that was good. No, he's not going to get a kill, obviously, because he doesn't have the mana. I mean,
yeah. That's the big problem here. But he's going to have those Arcane Boots up in just a second. But back to this other lane. Trial versus Trial bottom lane. Antimate's up to level 3 has gone for 2 points in mana break, so we're not seeing stat points picked up. And this is because there's a lot of action. Action, once again. Chimp caught out. Going to have to throw a defensive disruption, but he can't because he's caught in the cloud. Antimage walks into it. Takes a lot of damage. Has to blink away, so some unnecessary damage there taken by John. And, well, this is where the powerful trialing comes into play. It's as soon as someone gets lifted up, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill if it's a Shadow Demon, unless Nyx Assassin can get an immediate impale off.
And it's got to be quick, because you can preload the ice path, basically, in addition to being able to preload the smoke screen. Like, this is such a low execution required, like, kill. Like, you don't need to land a perfect ice path. You don't even need to land a decent smoke screen. It just has to be in the neighborhood. And that's probably a kill on whichever support you've decided to target. Yeah,
and Ricky now up to gets himself level 4, but more importantly, he's got treads. He's got the items here, and I think they're quite happy with Ricky being a bit under-leveled, having that slower level 6 because of the fact he's getting these items. And, well, the supports you mentioned, they want to sort of be hugging the anti-mates, but actually going to go for a kill at mid lane.
I think they feel maybe AM's safe enough, and a kill on Bat Rider would be huge here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be... Oh, perfect flame break. Pushes back Nyx Assassin. Can we get the impale off? Doesn't look like we're going to see it. And Bat Rider, considering turning this one around, he actually is level 6 here, and 3 napalm stacks on Chimp, Ush with just 1, and they're not going to get the kill. I think the big issue there was Puck wasn't level 6 yet. They needed to wait for him to hit that level 6 mark.
Without Dream Coil, it's just how are you going to punish him? And here's the problem. Bottom.
Dead. Yep. I caught that one, and, well, lift, ice path, cloud, there's no blink out. You leap with the 2 disables, and then you have the cloud to secure the kill.
Right, and I mean, there's the thing. Dust finally feeling like they don't have to play super defensively, and they immediately pay for it.
Yeah.
They get nothing from the rotation of the supports, and they immediately lose the AM. And now this is a 5 last hit AM with a death. Trouble mid, Ush might die.
Oh, we're going to see another solo kill into Ush. We saw it last game, some misplays. He actually gets brought up to the high ground here. He's going to try Orb his way out of this one. Regen Root is there waiting. And now he could turn this around. Firefly is not going to last a whole lot longer. He's going to be caught up. Follow up with an Orb. 1 second cooldown. Going to have to throw it now, and it will do so. Gets the kill, so a bit lucky. But
a bit.
I think
easiest regen rune of his life.
I think he may have lived with or without rune, but the kill was all the regen rune. Yeah.
Yeah. He probably would have lived, I agree, but turning that around into a kill on Bat Rider is just so important for the survival of this middle lane for them.
Well, Mag actually used an RP at top lane. It looks like it was just used defensively to maybe keep himself alive. I didn't catch that one here, but he's seeing on 29 creep kills to 38 on the Darkseer, so he's fallen behind quite considerably now, and That's going to keep on getting worse. Darkseer with levels is just such a powerful threat, and I think we see maybe Mag look to rotate to another lane, but the problem is RP on cooldown means he can't come help out this bottom lane, because that's ideally where you'd look to see a Mag TP bottom, look for a skewer RP, and then turn this lane around, but you can't do that when you've just blown RP. Well, I don't know whether it was blown. If it was to save his life, maybe it's worth it, but it's on cooldown, so he goes back top lane.
One major issue I see for Dust here is that because this Magnus's farm is going to be slower up in the solo lane versus where he would be if he were mid, is that the blink on Batrider will probably hit substantially before the blink on Magnus does, and I don't think with the AM suffering so heavily... Oh no.
Defensive disruption. Get out of that cloud, get an impale off. The disruption actually just buys the time needed, and that's the beauty of this defensive disruption on Anti-Mage whenever it gets initiated on. You get those Anti-Mage illusions which do decent damage with the mana break.
Mm-hmm. No, that was actually really, really good, that defensive disruption. It was key to that situation. What I was saying is that if Batrider gets Blink first, he can basically ensure that Magnus is not going to get what he needs as far as initiations. Actually, Ush in trouble mid again.
Yeah, see if he can turn this around. It's going to be a Rune, but this time it's going to be Batrider who's in the better position to grab it. Puck. Looks like he can get it. He's got a full magic wand here. Phase shift comes a bit late. Will orb his way to the high ground. It's actually Anti-Mage at bottom lane caught out. This time the cloud was enough, and TP coming in. It's Puck. Puck with levels here. Does he have mana, though? Uses the full magic one. Going to go into the Ricky. Ricky gets the Nyx Assassin before he's going to go down. I believe he's going to go down. Shockwave is there. Yes. RP just on one. Only on the Rubik. Rubik not level 6. Can't actually go stealing that yet. Skewer. One more right click and easy little pick off there for Maggers. But they bring in 5 heroes bottom for a Ricky and a Rubik. And they lost Anti-Mage anyways.
They did lose AM, which sucks, I agree. But actually, Magnus managed to pick off Darkseer at top, even without the RP, then rotates bottom and helps in 2 kills there. So overall, I don't think that great for Dust, but the big thing is that they got quite a bit on Magnus there. Yeah. And like I said, they want to move towards that blink because otherwise, Smash can just take him out of fights, and without that RP, they're not going to win those fights. Yep. So any sort of performance that Mag can give in terms of picking up kills, getting around the map, and keeping Artyk off their backs is very important for them to have a team fight that they're happy with later.
Yeah, and that Blink Dagger for Smash, he's up to 1,500 gold compared to Mag, 470. Mag has gone for Arcane Boots, while we do see sort of a more rush Blink Dagger build coming out of Smash, but this is going to favor Artyk when they get the faster Blink initiation up, not to mention they're going to get themselves some more gold. Bottom lane, Ewo, Ricky, tier 1 tower for him. He stops hitting it to get a creep. He's all about the farm.
Well, he's Ricky. He's an assassin. Yeah. You can't assassinate a tower, gods.
No, that's very true.
At any rate, I mean, the problem for Dust right now is, unless they manage to find John a ton of safe farm, I just don't know that Magnus, Nyx, Puck are going to get much done. Because Puck, he had a good mid lane, but not dramatic. I mean, he's not going to hit his blink nearly as fast, again, as Smash is going to.
I'd like to see something which I've only seen once in like the last 6 months. I'd like to see Anti-Mage not go Battle Fury. I think he goes something like a Vanguard Manta style. Guess what? You get cleave from Mag, so you get some damage, you get some cleave. Just go for a more tanky survival build. Vanguard will give you some damage block for the Ricky. Manta style gives you more illusions to play around with, more survivability.
Oh no.
And,
Puck.
Oh my god.
He's gone.
Puck. Not again.
They actually didn't need the lasso. That was a completely unnecessary lasso, in my opinion. But
Nick's going to come in, chuck an Impale just for good measure here, just to slow down this push maybe, but it's not doing a whole lot. Anti-Mage, actually, Ricky's completely overextended at bottom lane. It looks like there was a Mag and Shadow Demon awaiting with an RP. Dusk gets used as well, and they get the kill at bottom lane, so there's some golden farm going the way of the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, Classic once again in trouble. I don't know what he thinks he's doing here, actually. These are some weird decisions that both the teams are making.
Yeah, Ricky position. He died under the tier 2 tower. He was really out of it there. And then, well, Nyx, I don't know, reminiscent of his first death before the creep spawn.
We're nostalgic for the previous Nyx unnecessary death. But the main thing is, it's okay, honestly, for your Nyx to, not to put too fine a point on it, feed a little bit. The main thing you don't want to do is feed on this Puck, right? If we have a repeat of what happened on the Storm Spirit, I don't think Dust have any chance. This Puck needs to help out the Magnus a lot more. And so he's doing a lot better in that respect this time. Behind on farm relative to the Batrider, but not so bad that it's a drag on the team. And John is doing a lot better than he was earlier in the game. The problem being,
he's about to get ganked. That's the problem. Smoke is there. There's also going to be we're going to see. He actually get out of here. Oh, there's a blink stolen. Blink left. Smoke, ice path, and oh. I thought it was going to be okay, but he didn't blink. He saw them coming in from that side, but blink steal from Mystico. That was all Rubik. That kill does not work without that Rubik blink steal.
Definitely. Honestly, yeah, I thought he'd blink earlier too because he had to have seen that Rubik actually cast the steal, and if he didn't see it, he would have heard it.
Well,
Actually, Mihawk definitely getting taken down.
Yeah, it
top.
looks like, well, maybe not definitely. He's popped the mech here. There's a counter TP coming in from Rubik as well, so
Nice skewer.
Rubik can try to bring this one around, but the skewer secures the kill, and now Rubik may be dead as well. Puck, double kill at top lane, so Artyk need to be careful here. Blink is up. Blink, Lasso, Nyx Assassin brought under his own tower here. I don't actually know if there's enough damage. He will get the perfect flame break or pushes him back into the tower. Defensive disruption. Chim keeping
Good
him
job by
alive.
Chim.
And, well, Batrider, his sort of reign of terror is continuing with this haste interface. He wants Nyx Assassin, but he's not going to find him. Flame break. Hits mostly
These are
Chim
good
here.
flame breaks.
Oh, here comes Diffusal Blade on Ricky.
Oh,
Nyx is level 6. Perfect time to hit
nice
level
dust.
6. Yeah, I don't think Mag's getting out of this one. Mag, hit the Mag, hit the
He
Mag.
gets RP.
Oh, he gets the RP off, and Nyx can go in. Doesn't have mana for Impel. He does now. Can you get the Ricky? He will.
Oh my
What a
God.
turnaround. The RP actually paying off there. Batrider has to fly off to the trees. They're going to lose Shakira. Shockwave could almost find Batrider if Mag gets lucky here. Batrider, where's he gone? He's sitting over on the trees.
He's off the
Orb.
map.
Oh, that orb was so close to hitting him. He TP'd out.
Oh, honestly, that fight, I'm not going to say it changed everything, but that gets Puck to blink. That gets Magnus halfway to his blink. Big errors by Artyk there. I don't know how they didn't kill Magnus when he was completely sitting inside the smoke cloud the whole time. They had him perfectly dead to rights. They knew that he couldn't RP, but they're going to try to turn it around.
Yeah,
They're
Mag.
just going one by one. I hate this, like, one by one
This is
play.
a really weird game. Both teams just playing some very scrappy Dota, and we're going to see Rubik get caught out the top lane. Dark's as well called up here. He's in all sorts of trouble. He's got no backup anywhere nearby. That's really the one thing we've seen this top lane. Constant stream of backup flowing in, but it looks like Artyk have said, we've had enough. Let's send Ricky mid. Sure, he's got this Diffusal Blade, but he's still very prone to being ganked until he's got a BKB. He's got 3 deaths all of a sudden.
He was 4-1, and now he was. I think it was 4-1-2, and now he's 5-3-3. I don't know if scrappy is necessarily the word ending in rappy that I'd use to describe this, but definitely Artyk, the big mistake there, and it's rare that I've actually seen them do this because I've observed this team, but one thing that you absolutely can't do in a high-level match like this is wander in with one by one with everybody thinking, oh, I can 1v4. And that's kind of how the last fight went, just people going in one by one, thinking that they can beat the entirety of Team Dust, and their lead wasn't nearly big enough for that to be true.
Well, can Ricky solo kill Antimage? Well, that's the question here. Blink out. I think he said
don't know.
it occurred to him that, hey, maybe Ricky's behind this tower. Or maybe he just wanted to get the hell out of there. He
They
is
have
going
Blink
back
on
for
tap.
stat. He's gone back for stat points here. Oh, Blink Lasso, where's he found it? It's over near behind the T2 tower. Mag trying to skew his way out of it. The skewer gets cancelled though. Nice play there.
That
The
was
stun
nice.
and ice path timing was just perfect. Macropie as well, giving some extra damage. Central by the Radiant team behind this tier 1, and that's, well, because of this Ricky.
Absolutely. They're being really smart. Like, they have good spider sense
Ricky's
for where
mid,
the
though.
Ricky is at.
He's
Yeah.
actually, well, he was there. Antimage did
Right.
get out of there at the right time, but Ricky's just following him everywhere he goes on the map. He's got a shadow.
Wait, sorry, what? Oh, no, I mean, Antimage is... Sorry, I thought for a second you meant that Antimage was building Shadow Blade, but he is going towards that Battle Fury. For what it's worth, it won't be the fastest Battle Fury, it won't even be especially fast, but it will give him sort of that ability to catch up on farm. And AM, I agree with what you're saying completely. It's possible that Manta Vanguard would have been just as viable, but maybe Dust, after maybe that last fight, feel that they're not in as much trouble as they were, and they can take that more late game viable approach.
Yeah, they've got a few freebies, and they're going to buy themselves some time, but Artyk are going to use this to sort of just slow down their pace of the game. Probably see Ricky start building towards maybe a BKB. I guess Mag RP still goes through it. I still feel BKB against the Puck Nukes, the Silence, Nyx Assassin is sort of the way to go here.
Yeah.
Especially if you just want to solo kill Nyx Assassin. Carapace ruins all that. I mean, maybe you cloud him in time, but having a BKB just guarantees that you can get kills.
Yeah, absolutely. I think BKB is the right approach for Ricky. It's not that they're lacking damage. Right now they're just lacking keeping their folks alive. And BKB, it's a great item at keeping your carry alive. Ricky has got to stop dying or he's going to fall behind this AM substantially.
Yeah, and it's... Well, he's ahead of the Antimage for now, but it's something
Sure.
which will not last if he keeps on dying. But right now he's twice the net worth of the Antimage, so he's doing pretty well for himself considering how that bottom lane went. And here we go. Dust, I think, realize they're not in the best position here. They're going to go for a big 5-man smoke gank. They're headed top lane. Darks is going to be the one in the front lines who they maybe look to pick off here. Rubik on the side, and that's something they have to be worried about. Telekinesis could sort of put a fall to their plans. They're going to walk right into Darkseid as well. Rubik, can they get 2 heroes done? They need to get 2 heroes, I feel. Impel only catches 1, but the Purge is there. Darkseid going to go down. Ice Path. Darkseid's still alive somehow. And Macropie doing all sorts of work onto this Dust team. They take way more damage than they like, and this is just going to lead into a Ricky cleanup. Lasso, Ricky... Oh, no, he needs to buy himself some time here. There is going to be... Well, Puck, I think, actually sort of escapes there. Shadow Demon on the run will go down. And Ricky, well, there's just an Antimage left alive, and he's at mid lane, so his job's done at top lane.
Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. I actually feel like Artyk had an even easier kill there. The Ice Path angle versus the Vacuum was just slightly off. We're talking about, like, maybe 15 degrees before the Ice Path Macropyre would literally just have insta-wiped Dust. But it was close enough, and the Macropyre did so much damage that it's just very, very good. I like this Ricky. We were talking about Ricky versus Anti-Mage, but actually the Ricky has been pretty effective against the Magnus, and will keep being effective against the Magnus. Unless they spot him out, a Blink Smoke Initiation means no RP today.
Yeah.
Magnus is so weak to those good silences. Usually you see pro teams using Puck against the Magnus, but in this case Puck was picked out, so Artyk uses Ricky instead. And I think it's smart. If they keep having the good execution, no RP means, I mean, no win, basically.
And even if there's something like a defensive disruption to save the mag in that cloud, he's still not getting off an RP. The disruption comes in, that's just cue for Artyk to back off.
Bottom. John in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, blinks into the trees, but Batrider, blink, gets vision. Iwo finishes them off, and, well, there's a pathway thanks to the Firefly to get out of there. And Iwo's got a Yasha now.
Yeah, if you're going to have your anti-mage farming deep in when you have no tier 1 bot, you should probably at least have wards covering that area. I feel like that's mostly an error where you could see Artyk coming from a mile away. Sure, Batrider was stealth, but... sure, Ricky was stealth, but Batrider and Darkseer weren't.
Yeah, it was not a case of anywhere really for Antimage to run and hide. One blink out is not going to work when Batrider can just follow you wherever you go. And this Battle Fury is just so slow. 0-4, yeah. He's got a broadsword, and that's it. He hasn't got the perseverance. He can buy a ring of health maybe with his 1k gold, but he's halfway to his Battle Fury. We're 19 minutes in, and this just is not going to cut it.
The problem is that the broadsword just commits you so heavily. Like, what else are you going to go? First thing, Daedalus? Like, once you have the broadsword...
Are they actually killing him again? Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Shadow Demon defensive disruption nowhere nearby.
Smash, honestly, has had by far the most solid game of anybody on this map. I mean, 5-1-3 Batrider, excellent blinks. I mean, that initiation on Magnus behind the tier 2 Radiant top was great. His anti-mage pickoffs have been great. And now he has Blink Force Staff. He's got basically twice the mobility of anybody else.
Jakiro as well has had fantastic game. There's a blink up on Puck, though. Silence into a Dream Coil. Rubik will be the first to take a fall. It looks like Mystico goes down. Can Iwo cause some problems here? It looks like he may do so. RP only catches Batrider, and now this is going to be a perfect setup for Ricky. Darkseid goes in. Vacuum Wall. Mech gets popped, and they only lose Rubik. Clean up for Rubik for Iwo, and, well, T2 Tower going to be the next to go down as well.
Absolutely. A little bit of cleanup on Iwo, definitely. And I wanted to say the other player that I think has had a really... just because we've been talking about some of the maybe sloppy play, but some of the really crisp play, Masoku on this Jakiro... Resurrecting, I remember when Jakiro was like, everybody was just picking up all the time when Ice Path was still ridiculously overpowered. And we're seeing some, like, return to that in sort of these games that we're watching today, Gods, because Vac is just so good with Jakiro. He's got so much that interfaces well with that Vacuum on the Darkseer.
And you mentioned the stable play of Batrider. I feel like Jakiro as well. That really weird fight at top lane, it was by no fault of Batrider and Jakiro. The other 3 heroes were kind of throwing away lives sort of willy-nilly, but... for Artyk, those two players have played a more or less perfect game so far and sort of kept some stability to this Arctic team, which they need, because if you make a few too many mistakes, Antimage will start pulling away, but they've done a good job of making sure that's not the case.
Absolutely.
Ricky sure has thrown away his life a few times, but for the most part, Ricky and Batrider have just teamed up and just completely demolished this Antimage. And
sure.
Dust, I mean, what do they do now?
I don't know. I mean, if you just look at the support performance, like... Jakiro has been there for 16 out of 20 kills on Artyk. No other person on his team has even showed up for more than, like... I mean, the Ricky has 14, but this Jakiro is everywhere, and despite being everywhere, he has 4 less deaths than their Rubik than Mystico does. And Mystico's a strong player, but he just hasn't had this sort of really solid fundamentals in this game. And consequently, I think their supports are basically carrying them. I mean, in some respects, Dust have a slightly better game than they had last time. Ush is doing far better. This puck has been contributing all over the place. But John is doing far worse on the AM than the PL.
There's some big backstabs coming. Both Batrider as well as Ricky are just like off in the trees, hiding, waiting to come up from behind. Centurewood does get dropped. They'll see Ricky come in to some extent here. He might almost have buyback. I think he's maybe just short. They're not defending just yet. More blinks coming out from Smash. He blinks even higher up. He's going to start fireflying. It looks like they want to make a go in this. They're going to pop the glyph.
Hope they don't.
Where
I really hope
the
they
TP's
don't.
in. They're going for a counter push at mid. Darkseid's not coming in. It's like a 2v5 right now, but with Iwo and Smash. I don't know, but it looks like Iwo is going to do this. He's going to bring down the puck. Can he go into more? He finds Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon chimp. Oh, there's your RP. Jenksner gets the Ricky and Smash. He's still alive. Antimate's trying to chase him.
He's alive for now.
Blink in 1 second. There's your Ice Path. There's your Jakiro. All faithful.
Bailed out by Masoku, frankly, to be honest.
I mean, that was a 2v5, and they traded 1-for-1.
Yeah, it's a good trade. Perfectly reasonable to trade Puck for... I mean, Ricky, you don't like him dying, but getting Puck is good. Oh, Jong will die.
Yeah, Jung dies in the mid lane, and Nyx Assassin out of mana can just stand there and watch after being the one who was actually initiating in, so... Artyk, well, that was a bit of a weird engagement top lane, but I think they just thought, why not? We've got Batrider with Blink, 4-staff. Killing him is always going to be hard, and then Ricky, I think, was just getting a bit bored.
Yeah, he's certainly... Ricky Maru, maybe he's role-playing, because he's certainly playing that Ricky style where, you know, he's got the contracts, he's got a guy's got to make a living, and if you're an assassin, that involves killing people. You can't just let the game go for 10 minutes without picking up a kill, regardless of if that ends up with your death or not.
Yeah, and, well, there's a lot less chance of his death once we see this BKB picked up. He's got the Mithril Hammer, Ogre Club, and just needs another 900 gold, so BKB is not far away, and with that 2v5 would have been like a 3-for-nothing sweep if he had a BKB there.
Absolutely. I just think they should have maybe waited. Like, they had this clever plan of, like, oh, we'll get a backstab, but, like, it's not enough to be clever. You also have to make sure that you could follow through.
I thought Darkseid was TPing in. I saw the glyph.
Too.
I saw 2 heroes on the side. I'm like, okay, Darkseid TP's in. 3v5, no problem. All they need is a vacuum. Maybe maybe you see Jakiro have to use a follow-up TP, but 2v5, I'm like, what are they doing? 2v5, like, I guess it works, but like I just didn't see. They didn't really accomplish much with it. They traded 1-for-1, and there was no real headway. They didn't really lose anything, but it just seemed a bit pointless.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, even with some of the sloppy play, Artyk have laid just good, solid foundations for dominance in this game. You can see that they have good vision, and they've had better vision than Dust this entire time. Gain map control, and then use vision to sort of enforce the map control. And I like that. It's really good with Batrider because of his ability to just, you know, turn nothing into something very quickly. And the fact that they completely destroyed that aggressive tri-lane early just set this anti-mage so far back. John, keep in mind, has just finished his Battle Fury at 25 minutes.
Yeah.
That's pretty late.
Well, he's going to look to go in on Smash at top lane. There is a 4-staff. He's going to have to use it pretty damn fast. You don't want to Firefly when there's a Carapace usually. That's one of those moments where your instinct is let's Firefly and try escape, but that just triggers the Carapace stun.
Firefly was basically the reason why he died. He would have been fine with the 4-staff, actually.
I think, yeah, 4-staff and then just, well, you can't really Firefly at any point when Nyx Assassin is chasing you. But just 4-staff and run. He had Jakiro nearby. He had lots of teammates nearby, but he gets picked off. So nice little small win for Dust. They're still pretty far behind. Looking at the goal graph, 14, 15k. Yeah, that's painful. That was actually a lot bigger than I was expecting here. But I guess when you see the net worth of some of these top heroes, it's no big surprise. Antimage, like you say, just hitting his Battle Fury, 6.7k net worth. And you look at the Ricky, who's got BKB, Diffusal, Yasha treads. It's
Exactly. They've just been amassing. They've been carefully finding farm for all 3 of these core heroes, the Batrider, the Ricky, and the Darkseer, because basically they've had dominance in every lane. So basically, if Dust can't approach the creep wave without fear of getting ganked, like, how are they ever going to actually find the farm they need? Finally, with Empower Battle Fury, I think this will generate some space for the Anti-Mage, but it's going to be a while before that's really up to a point where they can contest what Artyk are putting out.
Yeah, they need extra items on top of this, like Mantisal, Heart, whatever it may be, Butterfly. And they're not coming anytime in the next 5 minutes. So I think for Artyk, they've got a huge window now, and they just need to keep on striking soon. Maybe go for a Roshan first. get themselves the Aegis, but they've taken out all the outer tier 2s except the one at top, but I have a feeling they're going to be looking pretty confident to sort of engage into the high ground fairly soon. They've got a good lineup to do it. You've got Liquid Fire, only level 2 at the moment, but Jakiro will hit level 13 with a Roshan, so then we look at, what, a 40% attack speed slow on towers.
Right.
You've got Batrider who goes for the pick-off, so you can immediately turn into a 4v5, so pushing high ground isn't going to be too difficult for them.
Right, and they do need to push high ground sooner or later. Right now they have an enormous advantage, but if this game goes 60 minutes, nobody will care or remember that Anti-Mage hit his Battle Fury 10 minutes late, right? Like, after a certain point, this all sort of goes out in the wash. If you win early game, you want to win the game mid-game, because nobody will remember that you won early game when you lose late game.
Yeah, no, very, very true. And Anti-Mage, well, Battle Fury is there. He's actually going to go for a BKB, it looks like. Ogre Club. I think he realizes that he's going to have to be in these fights.
Yeah. He has to stay alive, and he has to stay on top of Artyk, and consequently that means he's going to be sitting inside of a Macropyre.
Yeah, he's a lot of damage. I mean, even just stuff like Blink Strikes can be annoying for him. Rubik Telekinesis could seal his own fate, so he's going to play the safest way possible with a BKB. Gives him some HP as well once he picks up the Ogre Club. He's actually hiding the fact that he's going for it. He hasn't picked up the Ogre Club just yet, but may do so now he's back in base.
I don't think hiding it is worth it. It's still way better than a branch. As good as branch is, it is the GG branch, but Ogre Club's a little bit better.
So 5-man push down mid lane. You've got a pretty strong team fight here, and I think this is, unless we see a big mag RP, this is going to be pretty hard to defend for Dust.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the right choice is even to let one Rax go until they have the BKB on Anti-Mage. I don't see them winning this fight. Like, they have the Aegis.
Ooh, there's your Blink Lasso. They found Shadow Demon. Not the best pick-off, but hey, it's a pick-off nonetheless. It turns things to 4v5, and they found Nyx as well. Once again, Nyx. There's your Blink RP. Catches just 2. Skewer back on Darkseid, but Darkseid's still got Vacuum Wall. Is he going to get a chance to use it? Needs to mech himself. He's very low on HP. Use that mech. Use that mech. There we go. 3 down. Anti-Mage buys back. They've killed off 4. It's only Puck who hasn't taken a fall, but he may do so just now. Diffusal Cloud. Ooh, not enough damage. Blink Strike will do it. And yeah, Anti-Mage, you can't really fight Ricky. Ricky with 300 HP will win that.
Yeah, but they should just go and get the Raxes. I don't know why I was still sitting there. I'm telling you, man, he's role-playing this whole game.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until Ricky.
Yes, until you just get totally team-wiped.
Well, he's going for more. He's got this Aegis, so I think he figures he may as well keep going for his kill. Anti-Mage vacuum back into... I feel like the vacuum smoke screen is a pretty powerful combo as well.
It is. The smoke screen is honestly the best Ricky ability this game. It's done so much work for them. Killing the Anti-Mage, just even in the aggressive try, the smoke was so huge because it gave him this almost like backwards Shadow Demon Leshrac thing, just because like massive silence meant that it was functionally speaking a total disable for Anti-Mage.
Yeah, and they get themselves both mid-Raxes. Honestly, I wouldn't be all that surprised to see a GG coming out soon from Dust. I just feel like they're just so far behind right now that it's getting really difficult. We're going to see an attempted engagement bottom lane. 4-staff on a Jakiro. TP out to follow. Oh, Skewer's too late. Nothing going the way of Dust.
Masoku, I mean... I don't know if what he's put together this game quite rises to the level of the MVP, but he's definitely been the most solid player.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen Jakiro actually make what you could qualify as a mistake this game. He's been extremely crisp. Every ice path has more or less been exactly where it needs to be. He's had some huge macro pyres, just great support play. He's always been where the action is, too.
Yeah, he's had a pretty perfect game so far, and I think he has been the most stable, consistent player from this Arctic team this game, but it's looking like they pretty much secured the deal here. They've still got this. They've used the Aegis now. Ricky got himself some more defusal charges, level 2 defusal now. Because I think it just sitting on 1, or maybe actually used them all up. But they're going to go for the push even without the Aegis now. I think it's the right move. Ricky,
absolutely, just end it.
They're looking for a pick off here before the fight begins. Mag Blink RP does catch 2. Is there a counter initiation? RP stolen by Rubik.
Sure,
that's surely going to secure the deal. And with that, nail into the coffin. RP stolen. Hex is up. Chim going to get Hex up. GG call immediately. And, well, Mystico, some fast fingers from him. He has his Blink Dagger. Definitely. He stole RP. And Artyk, they keep their their lives, keep themselves alive here in the We Play Dota 2 Group H. They're going to go on to verse the loser of EG and Auroch, so they may have a rematch up. Well, no, what am I talking about? A rematch? They may have a potential rematch up against EG if EG lose. But If the expected happens and EG take down Artyk, then EG win the group. Artyk will be battling out with Artyk to decide who finishes it in second place, who else advances. But, well, right now, Artyk, it looked a lot better here than they did against EG, but that's kind of what happens when you're not versing EG.
Yeah, the quality of the tough thing about judging the quality of a team is that it depends so much on the quality of your opponents. Even some of the best teams in the world, gods, we see them on some days and they just get outmatched that one specific day, and it was like, oh my god, why did I ever like these guys? So, I mean, Artyk definitely looking stronger this game. I would have to go back to. I'm not sure how wise the Anti-Mage was. I feel like it was almost a trap. And you pointed it out at the time. You were like, I think Anti-Mage fits a lot better into Artyk's lineup. And I think that's right. They could have run the AM and won this game as convincingly as they did with the Riki. Whereas, I just don't know. They couldn't make much happen with the Anti-Mage from moment one.
Well, that's going to conclude things here in the loser bracket. Artyk take out Team Dust. We'll be going on to our next match, which is going to be Evil Geniuses up against Oryx. Probably the highlight of tonight's matchups. We've got a pretty experienced team with some strong veterans in Oryx and EG. Looking to bounce back after a bit of I'd say a drought, but it's not really a drought in performance, more just a drought in actually playing. They haven't been playing matches.
That's true.
And they're back. They've switched roles. We've got Demon on carry, Malk in offlane, Fear on support. I don't know what's going on, but so far it's worked out for them. We're back soon with more We Play Dota 2 action. I'm Gods, and joining me has been Vikramond. Stay tuned, guys, and of course, thanks everyone for tuning in, as always. See you guys soon.